Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Andros from the Power Rangers Lightning Collection from Hasbro. This was a Target exclusive. I got mine from their website, target.com. I don't know if anyone's ever seen these in store, but they were going in and out of stock for a long time, so if you're still trying to track this one down, I would definitely find the listing on Target, and then in the app you can set a little notification so it alerts you when it goes active. That's how I got mine. But yeah, so like I said, I haven't heard of anyone finding him in stores. Doesn't mean he won't eventually be in stores. But you can see this is Andros in disguise. Previously, we did have Andros in his in-space red Ranger suit in a 2-pack with Astronema. And now he has this kind of like, I'll be honest, it kind of looks like a bathrobe, but it's supposed to be like a cloak. I think there's an episode, I can't remember exactly which one, but he's playing poker in that like outlaw, where all the monsters hang out, outlaw world. And I believe he's playing for the keys to the Mega Voyagers, and he's like completely in shadow. And I think in the very first episode, he's also wearing this cloak, but I think he's got the full Red Ranger suit underneath the cloak in that episode. Here you'll see that he doesn't actually have the Red Ranger suit. It's pretty much the same suit, but done all in black, and we'll get into that more in a minute. But first off, I want to check out this artwork here on the box. I think this is one of the first, if not the first, Rangers to be pictured on the box, like in his civilian form with his head, not his helmet, which is actually pretty cool, and the artwork does look pretty neat. Wraps around there to the side, says in space up here. Over here on the side again, just kind of the artwork with the lightning symbol down here. And then on the back you have kind of a nice promo shot of the figure. So really fun packaging as always. I'm going to go ahead and get him out of this box so we can take a closer look. So here he is out of the packaging, and the robe is actually really well done. I mean, yes, it makes him look like a giant Jawa, but I still think it's really well done. It fits him pretty well. You can pull the cloak down a little bit over his face to keep that in shadow. It has a little piece of Velcro to keep it together, which I really appreciate. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of take it off for now so we can take a look at the figure underneath. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this off here and take this off. So here is the Andros figure, and like I said, it's pretty much the exact same figure as the in-space body, just done completely in black. So no paint applications, anything like that. But you can see the belt's the same, they did paint that. The boots are the same down here. They have this symbol painted here on the chest instead of the strip with all the different colored squares. But otherwise, it is the exact same figure. Let's take a look at the Andros head sculpt. I think this looks pretty good. He's got the earrings over here on the side. You have the streaks of the blonde hair, which I think look pretty cool. Now the articulation is exactly the same as the other figure as well. So you have a hinge here and a ball joint, so you can kind of look side to side. You can look down with the hinge. Can't really look up all that much. Not really tilt much side to side because of his hair, but you can certainly look side to side. You have the butterfly joints. You have the hinge in the shoulder. You have the rotation. You have the bicep swivel. You have the double jointed elbows. You have the swivel and hinge in the wrist. So you can see you got the hinge there in the wrist. You have the kind of torso ball joints. So you got a lot of nice range of motion there. He does have an ab crunch. It's kind of tight, but it can go. Just very, very tight. In the hips, you can kick forward. You can kick out to the side. Can't really kick back because he does have kind of a butt flap there. You have a thigh swivel. You have a double jointed knee, as you can see there. And then, of course, you have the boot swivel. You have the hinge in the ankle, as well as the rocker side to side. So it's pretty much exactly what you'd expect from a Lightning Collection figure. All the articulation is the same. But I wanted to do a comparison real quick with the in-space red figure, so that you can see that they really are just the exact same body. And this one did come with an Andros head as well. So if we do a comparison of these, they're pretty similar. They're very slightly different. You can see that the hair is slightly different. It seems like the earring on the new head is a little bit more accentuated than on the old one. But they're both pretty good. They're pretty similar. The hair is painted a little different as well, as you can kind of see there. But for the most part, pretty similar. Now he does come with some other accessories. He does come with the in-space helmet, but just done completely in black. No paint applications whatsoever. And it's kind of hard to see with the light shining off, but you can see how it is kind of molded in. The little vents are right there on the side. The mouth is there molded in. So it is an in-space helmet just done completely in black with no paint applications whatsoever. But if you want, you can go ahead and pop off the Andros head and pop this on top. Go ahead, pop this on top. Come on. It's really not wanting to connect on here. There we go. And you can just kind of have this, like, you know, Shadow Ranger. I know it's not Shadow Ranger, but I like that he's just like completely dark. It would be very easy to kind of blend in and sneak around. This also helps that if I put this back on him, where's the sleeve? There we go. And when you put this back over his head, it kind of lends more to the shadow because you don't see his face at all. So it kind of just looks like there's nothing under the hood except like shadow that you can't see. And I kind of like that. I think that looks really cool. So it adds to the disguise. So I kind of like the all black helmet. I'm really glad they included it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that they included the Andros helmet as well. Because, I mean, you want a civilian head with every Ranger at this point. So I think it's fun that they did still include that, though, because it looks pretty cool. Now, also, you get some effect pieces and things and extra accessories. They're pretty much exactly the same as what he has here. So we'll go ahead. We will take the spiral saber out of his hand. And apparently a nice chunk of paint as well. Awesome. So that got stuck there. Anyway, here are the two spiral sabers. So this is the new one. This is the old one. It almost looks taller. It can't be though, right? It's got to be the same mold. No, it's the same. It just looks different. Painted pretty much the same. I mean, they're almost identical. Kind of nice to have an extra one since I just apparently took a nice chunk of paint off of this one. But they look pretty much identical. This is the blaster that comes with the new figure. Let's take a look at the old blaster. So you can see they're pretty similar. It looks like there's a little bit more blue paint towards the tip, like right there. Otherwise, the silver seems to be the same. The red seems to be the same. The gold. So I would say they're pretty similar. So I'll put this back in here. And he does still have the holster under here. So if we open this back up, I didn't really show this off, but he does have the holster, so we can go ahead and pop the gun in there. Come on. There we go. And then, of course, you can just have that underneath. Let me zoom back out. Now, he does come with some effect pieces. We have the Cyclone of Lightning here, which is basically just supposed to, you know, thread on top of the spiral saber. It doesn't really, like, hook on in any way. You can kind of, like, find a spot and hope that it kind of wedges on there so that the friction will keep it in place. It's not bad. I'm not a huge fan of these. I mean, they're fine. I don't personally care about them. And then we do have this effect piece for the blaster, and just because it'll be easier, I'm going to go ahead and feature it with this one because it is the same connection. So you can kind of see that there is a tiny little connection spot right in here, and there's kind of like a little slit to pop this on. Okay, maybe, is this actually not the same? Let me double check this. No, it should be exactly the same. It's not really connecting that well, but it should be able to. There we go. Something like that. I mean, it's not great. I have it a little cockeyed, but there we go. That works. So it looks okay. I mean, obviously, I don't think this effect piece was meant for this. I think they just kind of threw it in here. As you can see, it's kind of just falling off there. So, like I said, I don't really think that was meant for this one. I think they just included it here. I've seen these mostly with, like, the SPD blasters and things like that, but it's still a pretty cool effect piece nonetheless. So we will put that off to the side. And the only other thing that he comes with is 2 extra hands. So in the packaging here, you can see he comes with these open hands for gripping the weapons. He comes with a kind of like pointing hand and then a closed fist. So a couple extra hand options there. And the other thing that's kind of cool is this robe, because they are the same exact figure, should have no issue fitting the other figure. And probably most figures in this line, I would think. But if you wanted to... Man, that is just a big thing of paint right there on the inside of his palm. That's kind of a bummer. But if you wanted to recreate the scene from the first episode, where he's spying on the, like, villain dinner party, and he's actually completely morphed underneath. You could recreate this here, and it should fit completely perfectly underneath there. So that's pretty cool. I really appreciate that. So definitely not a figure that needed to be made, but still a fun figure nonetheless. It's really just an in-space red done all in black with very minimal paint, and then a slightly different Andros head, and then of course this giant bathrobe. But I think it's actually really fun. Like I said, the bathrobe or cloak, whatever you want to officially call it, it's actually done really well. It's a decent material. It's sewed together pretty well. I appreciate the little piece of Velcro to keep it together. The hood works. It stays on his head. It fits him well. Honestly, it's a pretty nicely done cloak. I think it really looks fun. And when I went and put it on the In Space Red figure, for some reason, with that helmet, I just absolutely love it. He just looks like a super fun little Jawa. I don't know why. I just really love it. But it's fun. It's a fun figure. Like I said, the effect pieces I don't really need. I mean, the weapons are pretty much the same as the In Space Red you probably already have. This thing goes on the Spiral Saber if you care about that. This I feel like was just included for something else to put in the box. I don't really think it's meant for the Astro Blasters. It doesn't really fit on the end of it. You saw that it fell off pretty easily. I think like this was definitely made for different blasters in the line, and they just threw it in here. It kind of works. It kind of doesn't. But the best accessory to me is the In Space helmet done all in black. It's kind of like a D-paint instead of a repaint. It's just the helmet with no paint on it whatsoever. But it's still fun. I think it looks cool. And like I said, when you put it on the figure with the cloak, I feel like it really adds to the mystery because then it looks like he's completely in shadow. So I think that's really cool. It's a fun accessory to include. Plus, you're used to getting a helmet and a head with most of these figures. So I think this is really fun. Like I said, definitely didn't need to be made. I don't think anyone was clamoring for this, but it's still a fun figure. If you can get a hold of this without too much trouble, I say pick it up. I wouldn't go paying crazy prices for it on eBay or anything like that. But if you can find it on the Target app or in store for normal price, I say pick it up. It's definitely fun. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.